Hey everyone, it's Adam of ScreenShare, a movie podcast fame, the very podcast you're listening to right now. I just wanted to jump in front of this episode to quickly say that this is the first episode that we recorded since having episodes actively released. So this is the first chance that we're really getting to say thanks to everybody who listened and has been listening to our podcast. We really appreciate you taking the time to give us a chance and hear what we have created. And we just appreciate the support. And I'm speaking for both myself and Calder. We're very apprecitive, and we hope that you enjoy it. Thanks to everybody who reached out and told us that they did enjoy it, because that makes us feel like we're not stupid, unentertaining little pieces of poo. Good grief. Okay, back to the episode. Thanks, everybody.
Throw the slack, you fucking moron!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to ScreenShare, a movie podcast. My name is Calder.
And I'm Adam.
And this week, we're doing our episode on The Batman. This is the one I chose.
The Batman.
And the theme for this month, our first theme, our inaugural theme, I don't know if that's how you what that means.
I was just trying to come up with a better word than inaugural.
This is our prime theme. I'm trying to get
I'm pretty sure we can
sponsorship.
just go for the first. This is our first theme.
There's another word for it, but I don't know what it is. Our first theme is favorite movies of last year.
That year being 2022.
Yeah. Good one, I guess.
What, like a good year?
I don't know. Was it okay?
I think it was fine.
I feel like we're still just teasing the tip of life after COVID, still in 2022, you know?
Yeah.
Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What a great start to The Batman.
So there was a problem I found in doing this, and it's partially my fault, but it's partially just like the way movies are released. I'm not saying I dislike Batman, but it's not my favorite movie of the year. Neither of the movies I picked were my favorites of the year.
It's less of a favorite movies of last year, and it's just like movies we want to talk about from last year. Yeah. And
there's a bunch of movies that have come out, especially in the last couple months, that I like, but like there's no way for Adam to watch them. Like I saw them a little early, or like they're just not available. And I don't want to like take notes in a theater and be like that guy. Yeah,
like we talked about maybe doing Avatar: The Way of Water as one of the movies, but like we're seeing that tomorrow as of recording this episode.
Breaking the thing. What's it called?
Breaking
suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. We record these per month. I don't think that's like. I've been telling people that.
Yeah, it's fine. So I wanted to rattle off a couple other movies that I liked. Maybe a little more, probably some of them a little less, but than The Batman, and my other selection for the month, Kimmy, which is not one of my favorite movies of the year, but I like it. So we've got Top Gun Maverick. We saw it together.
Sure.
Nope. We saw that together.
Mm-hmm.
Glass Onion. Have you seen?
I have not seen Glass Onion yet.
Do Revenge. You saw that one.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future episode when we do our Women's Month. When's Women's Month? Is there a Women's Month?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm pretty sure. I think it might be April. If I'm wrong, then that's embarrassing, but I think it's April. Should I Google it? Is it worth Googling?
Ask Olivia.
Wait, why don't I just... Okay, Google, what month is International Women's Month?
International Women's Day will be on Wednesday.
Oh, it's just a day?
You talked only when it was saying the month. Because I'm
like
pretty sure
Wednesday,
International
March
Women's Day,
23.
it's also the month.
That's my birthday. I shouldn't say that for my social security. Anyway, we got to get through this list. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Sure.
Ambulance, Michael Bay. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm kind of disappointed that neither of us picked that. That's probably honestly an oversight.
I'm almost certain that I would have picked it had I seen it. And we're picking.
You haven't seen it
I haven't
at
seen
all?
it yet. No.
It's on Amazon Prime right now.
I know. So
God.
the thing is, if it were just movies from last year, then I think I would have picked it so that I could then have an excuse to watch it. But it was like movies that
we liked
from last year. And it's like, well, I hadn't.
So why didn't you
seen
pick this next one, The Northman? We saw that together.
I just didn't want to watch The Northman again. Like
That's fair.
That's a movie I saw and I was like, that was good, but I don't want to watch it
That's fair.
again.
I Want You Back, Charlie Day, Jenny Slate, rom-com. Okay.
That's a good duo.
Marry Me, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson. Most unconvincing couple there is.
Yeah,
But
sure.
It worked. There's some all right songs. I think, who's in it? Some famous pop star.
Jesse McCartney.
Come on, man. It's like not Bad Bunny.
What do you mean, come on, man?
Okay, you know Jesse McCartney's not famous anymore.
People know his name.
Fire Island, another rom-com kind of, which I think you might like. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's got Bowen Yang in it. He's on SNL.
Okay.
Cha-Cha Real Smooth. I probably should have picked this one, but I'll probably talk about it in a later month. I really like Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Tar, probably one of the best movies I've seen this year.
Okay.
Barbarian. I
Okay.
like that. I forgot that Scream 5 came out this year, and I might have...
Picked that.
Like, I shouldn't have, because you haven't seen any of the other ones, but
Sure.
I like that one. X. And then, for sure, my favorite movie of the year so far that I've seen, Babylon.
Favorite
Which I
movie of the
love.
year is Babylon.
Yes.
Interesting.
thought it was
I know
really
nothing
good.
about
the
it.
music. Some movies I haven't seen.
Okay.
Pearl,
Okay.
sequel to X. All Quiet on the Western Front. Apparently, like an adaptation of that came out, and it was okay.
Wasn't it a
on
German
Netflix.
adaptation?
Yeah, but I guess that's probably why I didn't watch it, because I don't really watch like foreign shit. The Menu.
I'm not gonna touch that.
I just like I don't like reading subtitles.
That's fair.
I get
That's
so
fine.
bored. The Fablemans. Marcel the Shell. Did you saw Marcel the Shell?
I have not seen Marcel the Shell. That's a big one that like
You
I think
missed.
that and Everything Everywhere All at Once were the two movies from last year that I wanted to see that didn't.
A24 girly. After Sun, another A24 movie. The Woman King. The Woman King's a big oversight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see it. Till. I wanted to watch Till.
I'll
in
be honest,
theaters.
90% of these I've never heard of.
You're kind of like
A hermit?
you're something.
Thanks.
Till. White Noise. Haven't seen it as of recording because I don't think it's out yet. New Adam Driver movie, Greta Gerwig.
Okay.
Looks pretty good. Don Cheadle's in it too.
Big Don Cheadle fan.
Me Time.
With Kevin Hart and
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. Sounds like a
Chasing the
nightmare.
Turtle?
Sounds like a nightmare
or something.
movie.
And then Avatar: Way of Water, as Adam mentioned, we're seeing that
Yeah.
today. It very well could be Avatar: Way of Water is my favorite after
We'll see.
tomorrow night, but it also very well could be that I cursed
Like
James
it smells
Cameron
like
to hell.
it smells like Sticky Doggy Dog, perhaps.
So instead of talking about things that aren't related to what we're supposed to be talking about, like I've just been doing,
yeah, the first like how long?
8 minutes.
The first 8 minutes of this podcast is you talking about movies that we're not talking about.
I just want the people to know, like,
Those
I've
are some movies
done
to check
some of my
out.
due diligence,
Mhm.
and if you want to watch some stuff from this year, that's a pretty good.
Those
list.
are some good picks.
The Batman.
The Batman we saw together also.
Mm-hmm.
Before we jump into it, I would like to just get like base level thoughts.
I think it's good, but
Yeah.
like almost every movie I see, it's too long,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Is that it's too long.
A big thing for me is it's certainly too long,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not entirely sure what I would cut out because it feels made to, except maybe the Joker scene doesn't have
That's
to be in
easy. That's an easy cut, but that's only like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but like it you can tell that it was made to be 3 hours.
Yeah.
So like
if you're cutting something, you have to like cut out you have to cut an arm off. You're not just like taking a bit out out of like the leg or something.
Maybe they cut out the scene with Alfred in the hospital.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Anyway, it is too long, but I do think it is good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I think it captures its own style and tone really well. Yeah. It's visually consistent.
But 3 hours is like, and Babylon's 3 hours long too. So like, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes actually.
Jeez.
Which we'll talk about that on a future episode.
If you're gonna,
movies shouldn't be 3 hours, and I don't know who's letting this happen.
If you're gonna demand 3 hours of my time, it had better be like really good.
Yeah, and it's got to be propulsive, and it's got to feel like everything is like everything is good. Everything's I don't know.
Yeah, you and I have talked it like off pod about how movies in general need to be shorter.
Black Panther 2 does not need to be 2 hours 45 minutes. Avatar: Way of Water probably does not need to be 3 hours.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff like, especially with those where like there'll be another one. It feels wrong to cram so much in, especially with this where like they're working on Batman.
And there's been like this weird thing. Like I remember when Star Wars: The Last Jedi was coming out and the runtime was announced. Mm-hmm. And I forget how long it was, but it was something like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And people were upset that it was so short.
Yeah.
But it was the longest one yet.
It's like when Thor: Love and Thunder, not judging movie on its quality.
Sure.
But when the runtime for that was announced and it's like 2 hours and that's like the shortest MCU movie since like, I don't know.
The Incredible Hulk.
Fucking ever.
I don't know.
I think The Incredible Hulk's like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Ridiculous.
People were like, how are they going to do that in 2 hours? It's like movies used to be 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
And they were better.
Or less.
Yeah. Well, then you're getting into sketchy territory.
Yeah.
But like, watch Happy Madison. That's probably a bad example. But
do you mean like, Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison?
Both.
Happy Madison. I think Happy Madison is the production company.
That's the production company. But I meant Billy Madison. But also it applies to Happy Gilmore.
Well, I just feel like when I was a child, movies were shorter. And I was still watching movies like The Philosopher's Stone, which are 2 hours.
Movie runtime
30.
has increased from like 90 to like 100 minutes to like 120. Like the average is 2 hours.
It feels like, especially for franchises or established brands and characters, there's a demand for films to be super long.
Because it makes it feel like an event.
Yeah. I was just about to say like an epic.
Yeah.
Like people go and see The Batman as an epic rather than, I'm going to go see a little movie.
Yeah. And you're like planning your day around seeing The Batman.
Yeah.
And I get it because they need to offer some like it's better to be like, oh, this is going to be like a crazy thing. But also like fuck off. Like I was gonna try and come up with some like real criticism, but like it's truly like
they want it to be a crazy thing, but get the fuck out of here.
But like honestly, it's like, guys, just edit.
I mean, when I was looking at the list of movies we had to watch for this month, I was dreading watching The Batman, even though I like the movie.
Yeah,
I was dreading watching it because I'm like, when do I have 3 straight hours of time where I have nothing? I mean, I generally have that actually just hits my point home even more. I generally have a lot of free time nowadays, and even then I was like, when am I going to fit in a 3-hour movie into my day? I did it.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
But unless, it's like you were saying, unless you like are planning it like it's an event, it's kind of egregious. Anyway,
especially with like once you get there, like it takes 30 minutes probably to get to the theater.
Yeah.
Get into your seat. You're spending 4 hours on this fucking thing, and if it's like just okay, like,
I mean, we're seeing Avatar: The Way of Water tomorrow. If we weren't seeing it in theaters, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So
it makes the movies hard to rewatch. Anyway,
we've been talking about the runtime for a while. That's the biggest gripe.
Yes.
So let's just get it out of the way, which I think we have.
Let me give you some background on the movie. So we saw it together.
Yeah.
I was excited, generally, when I was hearing about the movie. Robert Pattinson is the Batman. Interesting.
Like him.
Matt Reeves is the director of the Planets of the Apes trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Trudgery.
Pretty good, I guess. I like those
I've also
movies.
never seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies.
They're
and
pretty
I really
good.
want
I watched them before the Batman.
I'm a big Andy Serkis fan, which we'll get to
Well, you
later.
don't see his face, so...
Yeah, but I like him and his performances. So. That was good.
Caesar.
Do you want to hear mine?
Sure. Yeah. Don't rip my face off. Maybe I'll get on Oprah.
Ooh, stinky. Oh.
That lady who got her face ripped off by the monkey getting on Oprah and it being like a reveal. Do you remember that? Or you didn't have TV when you were young?
Well, no, we had Oprah.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't have cable or satellite, but we had Oprah.
You were streaming OWN.
No, I don't remember watching that on TV, but I know of it.
That's like, it feels like a core memory to me, but I don't think I watched it. I just feel like I know about it too much.
Yeah.
And then anyway, back to the movie. What a psychotic thing to talk about.
This episode's
it's off
somehow
the rails
already more all over the place than the Hardcore Henry episode.
Yeah.
That's okay though.
And then I liked the cast filling out like the rest of the movie. Paul Dano.
Oh, the casting's
Colin
great in the
Farrell,
whole movie, I
Zoe
think.
Kravitz, John Turturro.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Fraser, who shot Dune, which we saw together.
I don't know the name of the actor, but the guy who plays the commissioner before he gets the rat trap on his head, the guy who comes in when Batman is first on the
talking about. I don't know his name.
He plays Sergeant Mosk in Andor.
Sure.
He's like apparently a very well-known Scottish actor.
Yeah, but they do.
But I like him.
They do
and
things
stuff.
different over there.
What does that mean?
It's just like weird over there.
Anyway, he got the privilege of saying shit for the first time in the Star Wars universe, which is pretty cool.
That's such okay. I'm not gonna get started on that. That's literally the worst fact I've ever heard in my entire life.
Why?
I just hated that.
That's just interesting.
It's like when people are like, when are they gonna say the F word in the MCU? Like, oh, you're a child. You're a little baby.
No, but it wasn't a big deal. He literally just says it like in the middle of a sentence, and then people were like, "Oh, that no one said that before." All right,
Andy Serkis, Jeffrey Wright, Michael Giacchino did the music for this. He's also like I wrote it down here. Why am I trying to remember things? Did the music for the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Okay.
And a ton of Pixar movies.
Nice.
I don't know if he did Turning Red. I should have looked
He
that
didn't.
up.
I know who did Turning Red, but we'll
Okay.
get to it in the Turning Red.
But he's done like most of the good Pixar movies music.
Yeah.
So overall I was like, okay. And the tone felt cool from the trailers. Just looked gorgeous. I was excited.
Well, can I say ask you a question?
Of course, I think.
Going into seeing the movie for the first time, who was the casting choice that you were most excited to see? And then after seeing the movie, who was the casting choice that you think was the best?
I think Robert Pattinson I was most excited for because obviously he's like the new Batman, right?
Yeah.
I think I won't say the new best because I think Pattinson is probably the best one.
Okay.
He does really good in the movie. Like this version of Batman I really enjoy.
Yeah. I agree.
But I think Zoe Kravitz was probably the most unexpected. Like, wow.
Like she was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
For me, I think most excited going in. Honestly, I think it's the same answer for both, which is Jeffrey Wright as Gordon.
Okay.
I just remember seeing that he was cast as Gordon and being like,
That's interesting.
Yeah, just because like I'd seen him in other things, and I like him as an actor, but I was like, well, he's not commissioner yet in this movie, but I was like, Gordon, that's an interesting choice. I'm interested to see that, and I really like him as Gordon.
Yeah,
a lot.
he's really good in this.
Like, honestly, I wrote down in my notes that this movie, honestly, for most of it, it's like a buddy cop film with Batman and Gordon, which is I like it a lot.
That's good.
Whenever they almost all of my favorite scenes are when they're meeting at the like searchlight, the Batman light, and
well,
they're
I
just,
like how
talking about stuff.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's fine.
But I'm gonna probably end up comparing this to the Nolan one a fair amount because it's like the most direct comparison. Like you can't really compare it to the Affleck stuff because that kind of sucks.
Well, they never made a Batman Affleck movie.
That's a little factoid. Matt Reeves was working on a Batman Affleck movie.
Interesting.
And then Affleck was like, "No thanks." So then this happened. That's not connected to the DCEU. But I gotta start getting through this stuff because I got a lot.
Sure.
But I do like that Pattinson is like not in the shadows, not trying to like hide away as Batman, not like mysterious, kind of like Christian Bale is with Gary Oldman, where he's like kind of like playing it in the shadows. I like who he's just like talking to him.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
Like
that's something I noticed in the first scene when they're at the crime scene. That Gordon literally refers to him as man. Just like, we really got to get out of here, man. And there's something funny about referring to Batman as just a guy.
It's like, hey, dude, like, come on, we gotta
get out of here, my brother. But like, I don't know, it makes it seem more real. And I like that people kind of disrespect him, but are scared of him.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel more like it's just a guy.
It's kind of like what you do to me.
Where I treat you like you're just some guy.
You treat me like I'm a dirty little pig.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I think is going to age really well about this movie is that it's by far the best looking superhero movie I've seen in like 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the best looking movies I've seen in a long time. And that's because Greg Fraser is incredible. He did... I might be mixing up the Villeneuve movies up, but I believe he did Arrival.
Okay.
And Dune. And then he did this, which is just an incredible resume.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also done other stuff, obviously, but like those are his most notable ones. The two I think he's been nominated for Oscars for. And I wouldn't like, he's not going to get nominated for it this year because it kind of came out at the beginning of the year and like people have forgotten about this movie, I think.
A little bit.
I feel like it might get some like below the line awards like visual effects because the effects are great.
Yeah.
They use the volume for a lot of those.
Did they use the volume in this movie?
For those searchlight scenes.
Nice.
Spotlight scenes. Like that's how they got that.
Bat signal. That's what it's
bat
called.
Signal.
I couldn't remember.
That's how they got the like perfect golden hour all the time.
Okay.
Because it was the volume.
Well, yeah. Something I wrote down is Batman looks best at dawn.
Yeah.
Like at sunrise, he looks best.
And then this, I think the kit that Batman has, like car, house, Batcave, suit, all that stuff. I think this is maybe my favorite one. Because it feels like, it just feels kind of right.
It feels very early Batman as well, which it is.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be a young Batman. But like, he doesn't look silly when he's with people.
No.
And every time Christian Bale's Batman was with people, he looked silly.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because the world around him in this movie matches him. Whereas I think in the Christian Bale Batman movies, which are good and we like, but it just feels like kind of New York City or like Seattle.
It goes like,
but there's just this guy in a bat suit in the middle of everybody. Whereas this feels like, everyone around him is just as crazy or depressed or everyone's in the same situation as him. He is just wearing a bat suit. Yeah. And it looks a lot more tactical.
And he can move in it. Like, Michael Keaton can't really move in his.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think anyone's arguing that Michael Keaton's suit is better than... Well, actually, there's probably people who are.
For sure.
That's mostly a nostalgia thing, probably.
Yeah, and they're probably, like, old.
What age would you say is old?
Where I, like, look at someone, I go, like, oh... Like, that kind of thing? Like,
sure.
Oh, he's old. 35.
Jeez, wow.
You're getting close.
Yeah. We're the same age.
Let's see if any of this other crap that I wrote down is important. Because it might just be best for us to get right into questions. Because I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
Another thing I liked about this Batman, we won't get to do that yet. Another thing I liked about the Batman is like his demeanor.
Mm.
Comparing him to Christian Bale again. Christian Bale plays like half he's like sort of sad, hurt Batman. Other half he's American Psycho sociopath who's like
like when he's keeping up a public appearance.
He's he's like creepy. He's like a
almost
creepy rich guy. I like that.
Or it's like, I own the restaurant.
Yeah, he's like, well, I just bought the restaurant so they can swim in the pool if they want to. Swim in the lobster tank and take a bite out of the lobster. That's Venom.
That's Venom, yeah.
Man, Venom versus Batman, though. This is why we need video.
Yeah, this is why we need video.
I like that it's like kind of real that like he can't really talk to people as like a normal person in this one. Like
yeah, I wrote it down.
He is Batman.
Yeah,
like he's not comfortable talking to people.
I did write down as a bit of a gripe with Robert Pattinson's Batman is that like obviously there's a level of suspension of disbelief where it's like nobody recognizes him when he's wearing the bat suit. But like in the other movies, it kind of makes a little bit more sense because like the Christian Bale one, he's like, I'm Batman. And then he goes and sees someone and he's like in a suit and he's looks great. And he's like, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's like, Alfred, get out of the basement. I want to be alone. And then he goes to the funeral and someone's talking to him and he's like, hey,
yeah.
Like, they're gonna, especially since he's mostly, when he's not in the suit, he's still interacting with people that he's like beating up and talking to in the suit. Like, the Penguin is gonna recognize that.
Yeah, that's the thing with Batman almost all the time. And like most superheroes where you're like,
yeah,
people are going to recognize him.
So that's my only gripe, but I also kind of get it because it feels like if you're the kind of person to be super grungy and dark wearing a bat suit at night, you're probably not an uppity, charismatic guy.
Yeah. I think it works for the character, but like thinking about it logically, they should know it's him. And one of my things is like, there's no way the Riddler doesn't figure out who.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same person.
Yeah.
But that's a separate thing. That's in the second half.
It felt like they were just trying to do a bit of a kind of moment, but
and it worked the first time where I was like, does he know that he's Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
I like that scene, that jail scene.
Oh yeah,
but in general, I feel like damn, it's just like Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie starts to like get away from itself when we meet Catwoman around like an hour in.
Yeah.
Where it's like first hour, okay, he's chasing the Riddler. He's looking for clues. He's like, maybe I got to go to this club. We meet her. The movie just kind of like, it's like a shotgun blast of different subplots that we have to deal with now, which is like the Falcone thing, the thing with the Russian girl.
Salvador Maroni.
Which who's this? Who's that?
The Salvador Maroni, we don't ever see, but he's the guy that they threw under the bus for the other case. Which is, aside from the runtime, maybe my biggest gripe with the film. Both times I've seen this movie, I got Falcone and Maroni mixed up frequently. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one moment in the movie where someone refers to Falcone as Falcone. So like,
yeah,
it's a little confusing, the whole Salvador Maroni Falcone.
And then we got to deal with the Penguin.
Yeah.
And then,
which, like, I love the Penguin in the movie, but it just feels like he's muddying things up.
Like, he can be cut out, I think.
Yeah, he could probably be cut out.
But
I think he's good.
No, I think he's good, and I'll probably watch like some of the show because they're making a show with him. But like, we get to this point where we're shot in the face with these subplots, and it's like, how am I supposed to keep these all together? And then we forget about the Riddler thing, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I think the worst thing about the movie, which I generally like the movie, is I don't like the case. I don't think the case is very good or very interesting, and the clues aren't that good or interesting either.
What do you which? What do you mean by case?
Where his case of like, I guess the case is, but like the case is so unfocused. So essentially,
you just keep saying
I know
the
I keep
case.
saying
I
case.
have no idea what you mean.
So like, he's trying to figure out who the Riddler is. He's trying to catch the Riddler, but we've got to. I just don't like get it. I don't understand the plot. Like honestly, I don't understand how we get from. I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Because it's so confusing. I do kind of get what you mean. There was a point where I was like, why is the Riddler doing this? Why doesn't he just do this? Like, my thing is, with like 20 minutes left in the movie, I wrote down the Riddler won.
Yeah.
Like, he killed a bunch of people, got a message across, started a like militia terrorist group,
and he's
flooded the city, killing thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. The only things that he had planned that he didn't do was kill Bruce Wayne and kill the mayor.
I think the mayor's good in this
Like
movie.
the mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
What's her name? Bella Real,
yeah.
I just don't I just don't get it, and I don't think the clues taking us on our way to figuring out like what the Riddler's trying to do are good. Like the bat with, or like the rat with wings clue thing.
Oh, that's what I was just about to address. Some of the clues and riddles I think are really good. Like what does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. I think that's a good riddle. I think what was the second one? The second one was the thumb drive. I thought that was kind of funny. And like the fact that the thumb drive has a thumbprint thing and he has to use the thumb to do it. Mm-hmm. But like the URL one, which is the bat or the rat with wings, that takes up most of the movie.
And it's bad.
Yeah, that's the clue they spend the most time on. And when he's like, URL, I'm like, it's a fucking website? Like, it's just like, that is, we've spent the last almost in like a whole hour following this specific clue. And it's URL.
Yeah.
So that he can have a little text chat with the Riddler. Where the Riddler's like, it's not a penguin. It's like, I don't know, man. It's that one's bad. That one's bad. Even when the head of the DA has the bomb thing around his neck, and he has to answer 3 riddles within a certain amount of time, those 3 riddles aren't even really riddles, because it's the Riddler will like say a riddle that rhymes about like what like the price that's paid, but it's the answer isn't like a riddle answer. The answer is $10,000 a month, because the guy's being paid $10,000 a month, and I'm like, that's not a riddle.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the Riddler plan is the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, but he somehow pulls it off. So Batman and the police department
he
are
just
stupider.
Commits domestic terrorism.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're a fan of that.
Sure. I do.
Put that on the FBI's watch
okay.
list. Let's go back. Let's get some positive stuff in, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah. For sure.
Number one positive. Selena Kyle's really cool. I like her a lot.
Oh yeah. I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I like this Catwoman leagues more than the Anne Hathaway Catwoman.
Yeah, I wrote down. Selena Kyle's really cool. Michelle Pfeiffer is strange. Anne is underused. I never watched the TV show. That's exactly what I wrote down here. Let me try to decode that for you.
I think I got it.
The Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman is... Have you seen that one, Batman Returns?
Yeah. No.
She falls out of a window, gets licked by cats, becomes a cat.
All right.
That's the plot.
Didn't Halle Berry do a Catwoman as well?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I don't care about that.
Well, she won a Razzie, so that kind of tells you everything.
Did you mute your mic?
No.
You were looking at it like you did something wrong.
No, I just thought that I'd unplugged it by accident.
Yummy. Anne Hathaway, she...
Sorry, don't punch me.
Anne Hathaway's only in Batman, whatever, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
And that's really like a Bane showcase.
She is in that movie what the Penguin is here. Where it's just like, she's not bad.
Yeah, but
it's just like, why is it there?
Yeah.
Like, every time the Penguin pops up in this movie, I go, oh, yeah.
Well,
I forgot.
It's like, there's so much stuff in this where it's like leading us into the next one or the show, or it's setting up something for, and I get that.
That's just kind of the way things are now, it feels.
I know, but it makes me want to be dead.
Yeah, it sucks.
And the world of Gotham in this movie is really cool. I love the Gotham that's built here. Yeah. Unlike the Nolan ones where it's like kind of like, where the hell is this?
This feels, I don't know if you ever played the Arkham games.
Oh, I did play the Arkham games. Yes, I did.
It feels a lot. I didn't. I played a bit of the first one, but it feels a lot more like the Arkham games than any of the other Batmans.
Yeah.
Obviously that one, they're in Arkham. They're not in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
But I just mean like vibe wise. It's very dark. It's almost always at night. It's almost always raining. Like but there's like vibrant lights that is like the main source of lighting is all these like street signs and
wet
subways.
Very wet.
Yeah. I think the atmosphere and world of this is better than any other Batman.
And I think the action generally is good in this movie. The car chase is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That first fight where he comes out of the shadows on the subway platform.
Fights the little face paint boys.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, and the final set piece is also good. I think the set piece is good, but I don't like that part of the movie very much because I'm just kind of like 2 hours 35 in.
It also, like, I feel like they were trying to do something different by having the hero fail in the end. But it's a thing of, like, okay, he failed and the city got flooded and thousands of people died. And that's how we're ending the film.
Yeah. And, well, yeah. I don't mind that as much. Because, like...
It just feels a little bit like, okay, then what was the point? Like, I don't think Batman succeeded in stopping really anything aside from...
Well, the mayor didn't die, which I think is more important than you're letting on.
Well, no, I do think that's important. Yeah. But, like, that is Batman's only win in this movie. And it's the most important win, I'd argue, maybe aside from him not dying. But... I don't know. It just feels like he fails the whole time. You can tell he's good. Like in at the first crime scene, I like when he like walks up behind the crime scene photographers and they're taking a picture of something else, and he waits for them to turn around and look at him, and then he just walks over to a blood splatter on the ground and just looks at it and walks away. He doesn't say anything, but then the photographers are like, "Oh," and they start taking a picture of that. He's clearly a very smart guy. He's a very good detective.
And very sexy.
Well, I was about to act as if I'm addressing what you're saying, but I'm kind of ignoring it.
Story of my life.
He's like actually a good detective in this movie. Like in the Nolan Batman movies, I feel like
he doesn't detect a goddamn thing.
No, I feel like he's like it's weird. I like the Dark Knight movies, but he doesn't feel like a vigilante or a detective in those movies. He feels like a vigilante and a detective in this movie.
And I think it's because he's just like, this is a younger Batman. He's less experienced. And it's also based on a comic that's like, it's based on The Long Halloween. Which is kind of like a bunch of villains. Like, I'm very crudely summarizing this, where a bunch of villains get out and he's got to like, oh shit, tonight's gonna suck. So I guess like that's kind of a reason why there's so many people in it. But he's like, it's his second year doing it, right? What the hell was I saying? I kind of forgot what I was saying. I like the action in this movie.
Yeah, I will say the only like editing bit, like I think that the sound mixing for fight scenes is great. Like his punch impacts, the hallway scene, the lighting and sound when like just the bullet fire is lighting the scene.
Yeah,
I think all that's good. I do think though that throughout the film the sound mixing is a little bit rough because there's moments where it's so quiet because Batman's like talking to Alfred going, I don't know, Alfred, I'm and then the next scene he's in a car chase where there's explosions and tire screeches and it's so loud. I changed the volume probably about 15 times throughout the movie.
That's life, baby.
Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't notice anything with the sound mixing because I don't really have ears. If we're being completely honest here,
I can tell you from where I'm sitting, you definitely have ears.
Would you make love to a woman with no nose?
Is it like she lost her nose, or is it just flat there
She
with
looks
2 little holes?
Voldemort.
I think I could probably do it.
You're not like getting anything out of this.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm assuming that I love this person.
No.
Oh.
She's got no nose.
Wait, then why am I doing this?
Just as like a thing to do.
What, for funsies?
Yeah, like she
like
comes
to
up to you,
pass
she's
time?
like, I know I have no nose, but like I'm getting it on. I want to get it on with you.
I'd probably say I'm in a relationship. I'd rather not.
Well,
but like,
let's okay. Prude.
Prude.
All
right.
2 things I just really hate in this movie.
Okay.
Probably my least favorite things, aside from the runtime. The Alfred dying thing, him going to confront Falcone or something, and then him going back to talk to Alfred all within like...
It does feel like back to
minutes.
back, he changed... like, he's very easily influenced.
I feel like if I walked up to him and I said, Selena Kyle's dead, he'd just believe me.
He'd be like, what?
He has no clue who I am.
How do you know this?
He'll just listen to any freak.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that part at all.
Alfred's literally...
fake out death is like...
He's literally
cheap.
been hospitalized for like a few days. He finally wakes up and Bruce's first thing he says is, why did you lie to me?
Yeah, starts fucking yelling at him. Like, chill,
And
man.
Alfred literally looked at him and smiled because he's so happy to see his like little boy again.
Yeah.
He's like, why did you lie to me? And Alfred's like, I didn't. And Bruce is like, oh.
Yeah, I hate that part. Like, that's my least favorite part of the movie
That
for
does suck.
sure. My other least favorite part is the syringe at the end, and I think I said this like after we saw it the first time.
Yeah, it was one of the first things you
Where
said was that syringe is dumb.
Yeah, he's all of a sudden got like, heal me from through anything, and I'm perfectly fine. Like after,
it's not even like he got an adrenaline boost and it made him able to like get up and fight that guy.
No.
And then it ran out and he was
still
in tough
hurt.
shape.
Yeah.
He does it and then like
He's just
10 minutes later he's
fine.
just standing there completely fine.
Yeah, he took a shotgun to the chest.
Yeah.
Or was it it was a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing about this movie.
Yeah. That
It
feels
seems
like
like
a
that's
cop
so-
out a little bit.
That's so like first draft. That's so like rookie screenwriter mistake. Where you just put in like, hey, at the end he's just gonna get something that fixes him, and now he's not dead.
You know what the solution is? Just have him either not get shot in the chest with a shotgun, or just have him get up because he has the will to do so. That's more believable
Then like, oh, I have this. Remember the syringe that I didn't mention ever, or no one ever said anything about at all for the last 2 hours and 45 minutes?
I feel like when I watched it the first time, there was at least a scene where Alfred... I could have sworn there was a scene where Alfred was like, here, I made this, but only use it in emergencies.
It's probably because I was talking to you after, and I was like, they didn't even do that. Like, you have to explain that. You don't have to explain batarangs. You don't have to explain the car. You don't have to explain this shit. You have to explain the thing that's going to magically fix a man who just got point blank in the chest with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So I hate that part of the movie.
Yeah.
And I do generally like the movie though. But that part infuriates me.
I do like
time.
how about 20 minutes ago you were like, okay, let's talk about some positive things.
And then we did for a bit.
We did very briefly.
Blasting my balls. Another little comment I wrote down whenever I watch this. The Riddler and I have a similar online presence. What do you think about that? He's got 500 loyal boys. No? You don't like that?
You literally called him a domestic terrorist earlier.
I'm not saying I'm committing domestic terrorism.
No, but you've got 500 loyal boys willing to buy guns and shoot mayors for you.
They're willing to do anything for me, not just that.
Okay, what did they do for you?
Buy guns.
Oh, okay, sorry, that clears it up.
Sorry, FBI.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote down the syringe thing again.
Here, before we get to questions, let me see if there's anything worth noting.
You have 4 seconds.
I have 4 seconds. Oh, I like Alfred. I just love Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I just don't think his character is done very.
They didn't do enough with him. Yeah. Oh yeah, when they go to the orphanage, Gordon and Batman.
I don't like that part either. Really,
it's just weird.
Yeah.
But before they go in, they open the door and then Batman turns to Gordon and goes, "No guns." Why?
Because no killing.
Yeah, but then Gordon's like, "Yeah, that's your thing." But I don't think Gordon's planning on like shooting someone in the brain. I think it's a self-defense thing.
Hey, you know how cops are.
And also, reminder, Batman, you keep punching people in the head 75 times,
yeah.
You're going to kill them.
The thing with Batman is he's committing mass brain damage every single movie.
Yeah.
If not murdering people.
Yeah.
He's just delayed the murders by like 4 days after they're in a coma.
It just feels weird to be like, don't bring a gun in here, Gordon. We're about to go into an unknown place that a mass murderer's sending us to.
The Batman doesn't kill thing is very much run its course with me.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, how is the Penguin still not in jail? It seems like every person knows that he's a corrupt like criminal.
You know, they said the same thing about Capone. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's just a suspension of disbelief thing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's like how Falcone wasn't in jail, right? Everyone knows he's a dirty guy.
I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I wrote a lot of notes, but all of them are basically things we've said where it's like, I think the characters are good.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. The movie feels too long, but I don't think the pacing is bad.
No. It's just
which is rare.
It's 3 hours that's just wrong. It's like, okay,
if you watched The Batman specifically so that you could have watched it before listening to this episode of our podcast, we're sorry. If you watched it because you wanted to watch it, then like, sure, that's fine. But
so here's something that I've been thinking about recently. Because there's 2 types of movies these days that are much too long. Art house movies and not like A24 movies, like true like indie art house movies.
Yeah. And superhero movies.
Because I was looking at the Sight and Sound Top 100 poll. Do you know what this is?
No.
They rank 100 movies. They get like a bunch of directors and stuff critics and stuff to put in their rankings. The movie that won this year, and I haven't seen it, so I'm not trying to talk ill of it. It's called it's some French movie about some French woman, but it's 3.5 hours long. And I looked at some of the reviews on Letterboxd, and it's like, yeah, at one point she does drop a potato, but it's literally just going through her life for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's not interesting to me at all.
Yeah.
And I try to watch a diverse like array of things. Like I've been watching South Korean short films recently. I'm not watching a French woman fuck around for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Like, and I was about to go, I'm a big gamer, but let me rephrase it. I really like playing long single player video games where I'm invested in a story for like 40 plus hours.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm more interested in doing that than sitting down for a 3+ hour movie.
Oh yeah.
Because it's more engaging because I'm like a part of it. But a 3-hour movie, I just have to sit
unless
in
it's
one
like
spot.
really good.
Yeah.
Really like captivating, has some sort of action, some active like quick
The only
pacing.
Marvel movies that deserve to be longer than like 2 hours max of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Because they were the big finale.
Hot take, Avengers, the first Avengers is like bad.
Like the Avengers?
Yeah. It's like bad.
I think it's certainly worse than I remember.
It's much worse. It's like a lot worse.
All right.
So here's some quick facts.
Okay.
Reeves started writing in 2017 with the plan of it being connected to the DCU, but Affleck didn't want to do it. Mentioned that. So it changed into this. Drops from The Long Halloween. And he wanted to feel like Batman was rocked to his core. Like emotional to his core. Where it's like, he can't get over this. Like, this is deep within him. This, like, angst and, like, anger.
I do feel like things get to him in this movie.
Yeah. And I think this movie captures it really well.
Mm.
That, like, angst and anger. Because the other ones, like...
I feel like
there's some darkness, but they're not dark. Like,
yeah.
the guys playing them aren't, like...
I think, like, Paul Dano as the Riddler at one point says, I know that who I'm looking at right now is the real you.
Mm-hmm.
When Batman's in his suit.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably how I was about to call him Cedric Diggory. Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
That's probably how Robert Pattinson like approached the role, was that it's a guy who feels more comfortable here, but it is Bruce in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now he's actually able to be his true self.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they say that about every Batman, though.
Yeah, but I feel like no other actor has approached it that way.
Yeah.
I feel like other Batman actors, like, no shade to them.
They're listening. They are.
They are listening. Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Ben.
And Ben. Like, I feel like they approach it like, when I'm in the Batman suit, I'm playing Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like the character, the presence, Batman. Whereas I feel like Robert Pattinson he's an extension of Bruce Wayne, which I think is much more interesting.
Yeah.
And I actually like
it feels more believable that like he is Batman, but also he like has to be Bruce Wayne sometimes.
Yeah.
Then in the other ones where it's like he is Batman, yes, like that's what he's obsessed with, but like I don't know, man.
It feels like Bruce Wayne is the main character of the other ones, and he puts on the Batman suit. This feels like Batman is
turn it off so easily in the other one.
Yeah.
Where he can't turn it off in this one. Where he's like, and that's the feeling of like him being rocked to the core. Like he can't turn this off. He can't turn this need for vengeance off.
I will say, I think in the like when Bruce shows up at the underground club near the end when Selena is going to try and kill Falcone, he shows up just in street clothes, but he has a backpack, and then 2 minutes later he has a change, and I'm like, that suit is definitely so heavy.
It's not fitting in the backpack.
No. It's insane, and he definitely needs help putting it on.
Well, it's like when he rides the motorcycle with the backpack with the suit in it, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But I gotta start getting through this stuff.
Yeah, let's go questions.
Or
a couple things before questions.
Some other potential castings for Batman.
Okay.
Nicholas Hoult. Do you know who that is?
I've heard the name. What is he?
He played Beast in like the later X-Men movies.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
Armie Hammer, like
Yikes.
Hannibal. Aaron Taylor Johnson. You know who that is?
No.
He was Bullet Train. He was one of the twins that wasn't Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
I like
not
him.
Brian Tyree Henry. Is that?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry. They were up for Batman, but
He's pretty good.
Matt Reeves liked Good Time, which you should see. Good Time's good.
Yeah.
Which Pattinson was
Good
in.
time's a good time.
What else? Pattinson obsessed over wanting to play Batman like a crazy amount before he got the role, just like preparing for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was between him and Holt in the end, and he won it out over Holt. Which Nicholas Holt Batman, like, I guess that's interesting, but like
not as interesting as this, I don't think.
I'm not. That's not one of those where I'm like, oh, maybe that would have been interesting. Like, I want to see that. But this next potential casting, I do want to see. Jonah Hill was potentially going to play the Riddler or the Penguin.
Oh, yeah. I knew about that.
Yeah.
I think Jonah Hill would have been great at either the Riddler or the Penguin.
But then it just, like, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing. But I like what happened.
I remember when it, like, rumors were going around about that. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it a creative differences thing where Jonah Hill was just like, I don't want to.
Which is basically just like they're not giving him enough money. That's
true?
What that's code for, kind of.
Oh, interesting.
Catwoman potential castings: Ana de Armas.
Okay.
Ella Balinska.
Move on.
She's in the Charlie's Angel movie, the new one. She's okay. Isa Gonzalez.
Sure.
Zazie Beetz, Alicia Vikander, and Hannah John Roman, who's like the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the ghost one.
Yeah.
White suit. And then Nathalie Emmanuel, who's in Game of Thrones and Fast and Furious. Do you know all those people are?
Basically.
I don't know if any of them are like.
I think that Zoe Kravitz is probably who I would choose out of all of those.
Yeah.
Maybe Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, that's the only one I was thinking. But like, she's just in Joker. Remember, she's in Joker.
I haven't even seen Joker.
It's so good, man. It's one of the best movies.
I know
of
her
the
from
year.
Deadpool 2 and Atlanta.
Well, she's in Joker.
Okay.
Fucking Joker, man. Sorry.
No, you're fine, bud.
No, I just thought about the Joker.
Sorry, I just thought about the Joker and I'm so angry.
They almost took out the Riddler's cult of personality online stuff. Maybe they should take out mine after January 6th. Which makes sense, but also like,
I feel like it just adds to it where it's like, man, I know that this can happen.
Yeah. I think that part of it's like really interesting and cool and good.
Yeah.
Because like that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Interesting. I was going to say it's interesting and cool and good because I feel like, oh yeah, of course, out of an entire city of criminals, at least 500 people would jump in on this.
Yeah.
Like I was even thinking, and this isn't me saying it as a bit, not that I would jump in on a terrorist attack, but that if these kinds of injustices were happening in the city that I'm in, and like there's a guy who is exposing all of this, if he had an online presence and was like, let's keep exposing these people, I'd probably be at least interested in what's going on.
Buy the outfit.
No. But like, you know what I mean? Where it's not that I would do like what happened in the movie.
I know you're not gonna flood the city.
Thank you, but I think I get why they debated removing it because of January 6th, but I feel like it just makes it more believable that would happen. Yeah. Honestly, almost. Obviously, there's exceptions. Like whenever there's a school shooting or something, and there's a episode of a show that features that, and then they pull it, that makes sense. But whenever I hear, oh, this happened, which caused us to change this in our story, a lot of the time I'm like, I feel like it would be more relevant and it would hit harder now.
It's kind of like the Falcon Winter Soldier thing where there was like supposed to be a virus
like that. They should have probably just kept it.
Yeah, well, because that show like kind of didn't make sense.
Sure, but like I said, there's obviously exceptions. I think that you need to make sure that you're being sensitive to.
I know you want to start another January 6th. It got nominated for some VMAs. What do you think it got nominated for at the VMAs?
At the
do you
VMAs?
even know the categories? Because I don't.
No.
I know the ones that it got nominated for, but in general, I don't.
How about this? Say the ones that you wrote down, and I'll guess which ones they got nominated for.
I only wrote down the ones they got nominated for.
Yeah.
You're a psycho, man. Best movie. They got nominated for best movie.
Best movie.
Best performance. Pattinson got nominated. Okay. Best villain, Colin Farrell got nominated.
Interesting.
Penguin.
Did Paul Dano get it?
I didn't see that he got nominated. So that's a strange one, honestly. And best kiss.
Sure.
Between...
I will say this. Yeah. I hate Batman romances. Because I find them so weird. Because he's playing a character almost. And they only know what his mouth looks like.
Show me what that mouth do.
This is the only time I've seen a Batman romance where I've been like, I get it. I believe it. I understand it. And I like it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Like it's hot.
You've spent this episode framing what I'm saying as a degenerate as possible.
Picking up the clues.
But I don't know.
A rat with wings. You are out. Thumb drive. Lie still. That's all I know. Those are the only ones I remember. Pooped his pants.
So what was happening there was he called her to keep going, but he ran out. This is why
we need video.
Yeah, so he said pooped his pants, which is really good.
Even if I just turn this on and I'm out of frame.
Yeah.
Cool,
pooped his pants. Cool. Understood.
Questions.
Yeah.
Who would you take out of the movie? Like, what character would you take out of the movie? Because there's too many characters in this movie.
Penguin?
I think that's a fair one.
I feel like
answer this question.
Like, logic-wise, I think Penguin character, just because I didn't like them. I just find Falcone creepy, man.
I don't think that plot line is necessary either, of like Falcone being...
But it's like the plot line.
Yeah, like, just have him investigate the Riddler.
Yeah.
And then maybe he has to do something and the Penguin's brought up. But like he works with Catwoman to investigate the Riddler. That's the movie.
Or make Falcone the Penguin and then just don't make the Penguin Catwoman's dad. That would be a bit weird.
That's so weird. That's such a weird like
it just feels like a convoluted web.
It's like watching a 40s noir movie where you're like, what the fuck is Humphrey Bogart up to right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
I know you watch a lot of those.
I love Humphrey.
What's your animal-related superhero name?
I was about to say the Penguin without realizing that's already one because I love penguins.
Mine's probably Lamb Chop. I know karate pretty well.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be an animal.
No, lamb.
Your name would be Lamb Chop.
Well, like animal-related, I said.
Okay,
And I got a fuzzy suit. But I don't wash it, because then when blood gets on it, there's like evidence of my crimes.
I'd be the Flipper, and instead of arms, I have penguin flippers, and I also flip people off with my flippers, but you can't tell because I don't have fingers, so it just looks like I'm putting my flippers up, but people don't know I'm actually just flipping them off.
I know I asked you this earlier, but have you seen Batman Returns? The second Tim Burton movie?
No.
You gotta watch that. Danny DeVito's on another fucking level
dude,
in that one.
Dude, there was an article that came out that said the title of the article was Danny DeVito says, quote, I like mine better, in reference to the penguin.
Yeah.
But then I watched the video that they're sourcing, and it was one of those lie detector test interviews, and the interviewer goes, who do you think has a better penguin, you or Colin Farrell? And he goes, oh, I think mine's better, but I think Colin's a great guy, and I think he did a great rendition of the penguin. Which is like such a, like the, of course he said that.
Was it New Media Rock Stars? Next question. Is there anything you want from Batman 2? I feel like Mr. Freeze.
I want Mr. Freeze,
Poison
man.
Ivy.
Oh, who do I want? Clayface.
I
would love Clayface, man.
I just like...
He wouldn't be able to be like the villain, but like if they did like Clayface and Poison Ivy or Clayface and Mr. Freeze, I think it could work.
I just like... I want it to push the boundaries a little more. Like, I know it's pretty grounded in terms of, like, there's no whimsical creatures in this.
The Riddler is about as real of a person as you could make the Riddler.
Yeah, because, like, you're sitting across from him right now.
Yeah.
But I want them to, like, push it.
Yeah.
Where, like,
Like, I want them to do a
Mr.
wacky...
Freeze?
I want them to do a wacky villain in a cool way.
Yeah.
Because the Riddler's a wacky villain.
And so is Penguin.
Yeah. So, like...
Raised by penguins?
Yeah.
In the sewers?
Yeah.
Eats raw fish?
Yeah.
How does this compare to Batman Begins to you? Are you
Um,
familiar with Batman Begins?
so here's the thing. I've been talking about how much I like the Dark Knight movies. Still haven't seen Batman Begins.
It's okay. It's one of the better, like, first movies in a trilogy.
Okay.
I think this is better, like, because I like the tone more. Like, it's personal preference fully.
Well, and they don't really, like... The Batman isn't really an origin story
No.
either.
Yeah.
It's starting... It's kind of like Spider-Man
It's like an origin
Homecoming,
story
where it's like it's already
3
started.
steps after the origin happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of like his story, but it's not it's
like
not
a
explaining
typical
all
origin.
of the context.
It's not like,
Yeah.
he was in an Afghan cave.
like Iron Man.
of scraps.
Box of scraps.
You don't know what you're doing, Tony.
How bad does fucking Bruce Wayne smell?
Oh,
that guy's
certainly
not
bad.
showering. He smells horrible.
Dude, Alfred literally says you need to take a shower in the movie.
Dude smells bad.
Yeah, and
for
he-
sure, and he looks like
He looks
it.
greasy.
And, you know,
Even when he's going to the funeral and he's wearing a suit, he doesn't comb his hair. He looks like he
and
just walked
you're
out
a guy
of...
who likes it when people comb their hair.
Well, I mean, you're going to a funeral and you're letting your hair look like you just dipped it in a vat of Vaseline.
He might have.
He probably did. Honestly,
Not to
Batman loves
disparage
his
the
lube.
dead. Interesting.
I mean, how does he slide into that suit so easy?
You're.
He's lubing up his head so he can slip this mask on. Anyway.
I just realized I could see my nose.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think this gets any, like, Oscars? I feel like it's on the same sort of level as Dune.
I just feel like it came out too long ago.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be not... If the Oscars were, like 2 months after this movie came out, or the nominations were 2 months after this movie came out, it probably would be nominated for plenty.
Yeah.
But I think it'll probably pick up, like, maybe score, sound mixing, and, like,
I think
visual
maybe
effects.
visual effects is the other one that I was thinking.
Maybe art direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it'll pick up any big ones.
Yeah, I'd agree.
What? You just sat there for like a solid 8 seconds silence.
Because I like...
Read what you think you wrote.
No, it's not that I don't understand. It's that as soon as I started to try and read it, I was just like completely dyslexic and I couldn't read words. And then I had paused for too long, so I was waiting to see how long it would take for you to say something.
Dude, I genuinely don't know if I can allow that long of a silence to go on, because that was long enough of a silence that people are going to check. Yeah, people are going to check to make sure. Oh man, I read a lot of stuff about this Batman and Catwoman being like sexy for real. Now, this isn't really a question. I don't want you to answer that. I want you to respond to what I'm going to say here. Sure.
Millennials gotta calm the fuck down. They're all obsessed with sex and stuff, and they want to see people kiss in the MCU.
Sure.
And they're like, oh, let's make it sexy. You're a child. Not you. I'm saying you as in millennials.
Okay.
I've grown a distaste for millennial taste. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Listen to that back. Rewind it and play that back for them so they can understand it.
Hit the 15 seconds back button.
3 times. That might put you right back into the middle of the silence. Yeah. Cool. But I've just like, I feel like they're complaining about a lot of things, but then also like they're the problem and why things are being like caused.
It feels like as a Zoomer, as a Gen Z,
Slap that.
as a Zoomer, as a Gen Z,
Yep.
I feel like I've been rooting for millennials because when I was a kid, boomers were shitting on millennials. So I was like, nah, come on, millennials, get out of this.
Like avocado toast isn't that
And
bad.
now all of a sudden, millennials are doing the exact same thing to Zoomers.
They suck. They fucking suck.
If you're a millennial, please keep listening to the podcast. Maybe,
but do
maybe
better.
you're an exception.
No.
But I don't know. It does feel a little bit like they're doing exactly to Zoomers what boomers did to millennials. But
And I just feel like my biggest problem, I guess, with this is they're blaming younger people for things they've created and problems they've created.
dude, that's every generation. Boomers did the same
I
thing.
know.
Gen X did the same thing. Yeah.
But it's just annoying because you're blaming young people for the death of movies and using the internet all the time, being addicted to their phones, and it's supposed
Who do you think taught us that?
Who the fuck invented the internet? Number one.
Yeah.
Who's making all this fucking money off the internet? I'm not making any fucking money off the internet
No.
yet. And when I get my 500 boys giving monthly donations, then I'll be making some money off the internet. Yes, I will. 500 each every month for my business plans.
And you yourself can go to www.donatealotofmoney to adamandcalder.gov.
I like my URL. Mine's a little tighter.
I'll be honest, I tuned it out.
Real ones heard what I said. Yikes.
We just went on a rant about millennials.
But
I get what you mean though. Where people freaked out about the Eternals having a makeout and slightly dry hump on the rocks scene.
yeah.
But it's what do you?
Are you a child? Are you 4 years old? You've never seen someone kiss?
They kissing.
And it's just I think the thing that really sparked me on this was I was listening to a podcast and some fucking guy on it. That's rude. I think I like the person who said this on the podcast.
Okay.
But he's just some millennial guy and he's Gen Z has no culture because they use everyone else's culture. But it's that's number one, that's not true. But number two, you're disparaging 12 and 13-year-olds for not having culture.
Yeah, one, you're disparaging children for not having culture, but also, isn't it a good thing to embrace other people's culture generally?
Well, it's not like African culture versus American culture. It's they don't have their own music. But the reason they don't have their own music is because fucking 40-year-olds are listening to Olivia Rodrigo and pretending it's for them.
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo's not for you, 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Let's calm down, okay?
You know what I think it is?
Have kids. Figure out your life.
This is a bit of a tangent, but
I'm angry.
You know what I think it is? I think it's millennials are holding on to being young, so they're trying to engage in Zoomer culture, which is I don't know, TikTok,
yeah,
Olivia Rodrigo type music,
Billie Eilish too.
Yeah, so they're clinging to those things and then being
that's
Zoomers
ours.
are ruining the things that are theirs.
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
they're trying to say that millennials are 26 to 40. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't be 40 and 26 and be in the same generation.
Dude, I am on the high level of. We are on the high level of Zoomer, and we're 23. If we were born 2 years or earlier, we'd technically be millennials. I'm pretty
But
sure.
that's ridiculous. Honestly, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pretending someone born in 1994 or even 1990.
But yeah, but that just furthers the point. Where no, if you're 40, you're not a Zoomer.
If you're 40, you're not. Well, if you're 40, you're a millennial, but you're acting like you're a child.
Yeah.
Anyway, if the
Back
next
to
time I
the
see
Batman.
someone who's 35 years old, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't know any 35-year-olds though.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I know a few.
Give me their address.
1, 2,
Boys,
3,
you listening?
4. Boys, 500 boys, 500 loyal boys.
This has gone off the fucking rails.
Yeah, this is a.
Which Batman are you if you had to pick which Batman? And remember, you've got Val Kilmer in there, and you've got George Clooney in there.
Which
as well.
Batman am I most like?
Yeah, which Batman is yours?
George Clooney.
Honestly, same.
You know why?
Because you got the credit card.
No.
Nipples?
Yep.
There we go. So this is kind of a bigger question that I probably shouldn't be asking now that we're an hour and 15 in, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What do you think about the current state of the DC sort of universe? Because there's a lot of shit going on.
Well, especially so very recently.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill announces he's returning. About a week later, not actually returning.
Yeah. So there's like because James Gunn just came in, and we're recording this on December 15th. James Gunn just came in as the head of the DC content, whatever the fuck, with some other guy who I don't really know his name.
Yeah, Peter something.
If he wants to have a meeting with me, I'll learn his name for that. But until then, get out of my face. But like Wonder Woman 3 might not be happening. There's like separate universes and shared universes.
This is what I think about it. This is what I assume is going to happen, and I think this is what should happen.
Go hard.
James Gunn DCEU. Complete reset.
Okay.
Separate from that, Joker universe. Separate from both of those, the Batman universe. Let Matt Reeves do his own Batman thing. Let Joaquin Phoenix and who directed the
Todd Phillips.
Yeah, let them
Hangover.
do their own thing with the Joker stuff. And then do a DCU. It doesn't have... I feel like a lot of these studios feel like all of their stuff has to be connected because Marvel does that.
Yeah, it
doesn't have to. Just make good shit.
Like 65, the upcoming Adam Driver project.
About dinos.
That's such a horrible title.
Do you ever have Dino Egg Oatmeal?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
When I was a little child. But I bet you millennials are still eating that shit.
Yeah, for sure. I always liked the egg part, so I didn't want it to melt and reveal the dinosaurs. I wanted to eat the egg part.
That's kind of on brand for you.
We gotta.
Okay, rate your feeling. I've got 3 more questions.
Okay, that's
rate
fine.
your feelings on upcoming DC projects. I'm just gonna go quick.
Sure.
Just give me a 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
No interest.
Have you seen the first Shazam?
No.
Watch the first Shazam. It's pretty good. The Flash.
No interest.
I did
Ezra
say
Miller
1 to 10.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part. So Shazam, I'd probably say 4 out of 10.
See, that's better than no interest.
Yeah. I just also like Zachary Levi.
Of course.
For the Flash one, 2.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. But like, I feel like my interest is higher because it's like, will it be an absolute train wreck?
I think it will.
Blue Beetle.
7.
7, really?
I just think Blue Beetle...
Blue Beetle's a cool character.
Yeah, because I'm fully basing this off of the Injustice 2 video game, because whenever a fight starts, they come in and say a little one-liner. And I think Blue Beetles are funny. He just seems like a fun character, so I'm just interested to see
he's
what
like a kid, too.
Yeah.
And he's got pretty cool powers, so if they do it well, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2.
5.
That's fair. Joker 2.
Just because it's a musical, so it kind of piquing my interest a little more, probably like 6.
Okay. The Batman 2.
I'd probably say 8.
That's fair. And then finally, Michael B. Jordan's Superman project.
Is that actually a thing?
Yes, they're working on it now. I don't know if it'll.
Is he the James Gunn Superman?
No, this was started before.
Okay.
But I think they're going to keep it going.
I don't know, probably 7.5.
That's pretty good.
That's interesting, but
now
I don't know.
Put that all up on the screen for everyone so they can look at it.
Do you? There's no screen. Do you want me to ask you, or you just say them?
I'm like a 5 to 7 on all of these kind of. Like Shazam, I'm a little more interested in because it's got Rachel Ziegler, I'm not gonna call her my home girl.
Were you really gonna?
Yeah, I was gonna say home girl from West Side Story. No,
yeah,
but she's in that.
Yeah.
The Flash might be a train wreck.
Also, just don't really want to support Ezra Miller. Seems like a bad guy. Seems like a bad egg.
Yeah, he's a rotten egg. Dump him, girl. Blue Beetle, probably about the same as you. I like Blue Beetle. I think it's fun. They probably should have done this earlier. He's kind of on the same level for me with like Static Shock, who I'd like to see get a movie. I loved that cartoon as a kid.
I'm also realizing that Ezra Miller is, I'm pretty sure, they, them, and I just wanted to address that because I mispronouned that.
I was quoting I Think You Should Leave, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2, I don't know. I don't even know what to think about that, so probably like a 5. The first Aquaman was okay, but like, I don't know, man.
I'm just not really interested in like almost any of those unless it's something new.
Yeah, like Joker 2 is interesting to me because it's a musical. The Batman 2, I like this one, so I'll watch the second one.
Yeah, Blue Beetle is like, we haven't seen that before, so.
And the Michael B. Jordan Superman, I hope it comes out. I want a different take on Superman.
Michael B. Jordan is like Henry Cavill level of, it's ridiculous that someone can look like that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Where like both of those are like two people where you go, that's what someone imagines a like angel looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So honestly, good casting for that if they still do that.
And if I had to pick between weird segue.
Here we go.
If I had to pick the body I wanted between Michael B. Jordan and The Rock, I'm picking Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
The Rock.
I thought you were going to say Henry Cavill.
Well, between Henry
Honestly,
Cavill
I'd probably
and
still pick Michael B. Jordan.
I'd probably pick Michael B. Jordan.
Michael
as well.
B. Jordan's a bit more like compact.
He's a little more athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is like comically muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I so hope Henry Cavill finds work now that he's not doing.
Well, he's in Enola Holmes. That's a franchise you
Witcher
stay in.
or
That's a franchise you keep.
Superman.
Enola.
No, I'm saying I hope, because he's not doing Witcher or Superman, so I hope he finds stuff that isn't just Enola Holmes. Because
why would you need something else? Asshole.
Sorry, this guy's a big Enola Holmes fan.
Where are you casting Adam Driver in this?
This was the hardest movie of the new batch for me to do a casting of.
I didn't think about it for Turning Red either. I got to think about that.
Yeah, that's a weird one. For Turning Red, I just realized we'll have to cast. We'll have to voice cast Adam Driver for animations that we do.
Has he ever done a voice?
I'm sure he has. I don't think he's done a lot if he has. I know he at least did Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Let's go.
But that was probably in his contract for the movie, so. But who would I
think
Carmine Falcone, I guess.
It doesn't usually go well when he plays Italians though. You know?
Sure. Why? Because of Gucci or House of Gucci?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking he'd be an okay penguin, but I don't think so.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that.
Maybe like Alfred. That could be kind of cool, but he's
too young.
young.
If Batman was younger, I think he could play a good young Alfred. But who was I going to say? There was just one on the tip of my... Oh, yeah. I think he could play a good younger Gordon.
Yeah.
But I don't want to recast Jeffrey Wright.
No. I don't think that's the question.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah.
But... I'd recast him as one of the twins that's guarding the door of the club.
Honestly, I like that part a lot. I love that there's twin bodyguards. That was in my notes.
It's just a weird thing, yeah.
I was like, oh, we're going to be...
I'm sure that's some deep cut from the comics or something, but...
Yeah, but like, I don't care. Let's rank it.
So I did finally actually write the list down.
Oh, I've got to update the letterbox.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't say that on pod, but...
It's fine. So... I'd probably, certainly above Hardcore Henry.
Do you want to hear where I put it?
Yeah.
Just under John Wick.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think it's like, it has the potential to be above John Wick, but I don't think it is. It's just like John Wick is so much tighter.
Mm-hmm. And if we're making a tier list, it's in the same tier as John Wick.
Yeah. But
so
ranking-wise, I'd put John Wick above.
Yeah. In a numbered list, it's second last, but in a tier list, it's like second bottom tier kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between the tiers.
I'd probably say for me personally, I think I probably like the Batman a little. I don't know, actually. I think putting it below John Wick, above Hardcore Henry is a good ranking, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, there you go. That was that is the first. Oh, well, Hardcore Henry we agreed on pretty easily.
Yeah, because that one was bad.
But it would be nice if most of the rankings go this easy.
Would it?
Dude, once there's like fucking like 40 movies on this list, it's going to be impossible, man.
It'll be easy.
We'll figure it out.
It'll be easy.
You want to wrap us out?
I think I might.
Dude, this episode was off the rails.
It's
not
late.
even that late. It's not even that late. It's like 8:30.
Yeah, but my circadian rhythm, I should be asleep hours ago. I fucking hate waking up early.
Dude, me too.
Anyway, next week's episode is on Turning Red, the Pixar
Yep, that one's Pixar.
animation movie.
And that takes place in Toronto.
It does.
Which is big.
So, watch that. It's on Disney Plus.
That one's an easy watch. I don't think it's that long.
No, it's like whatever. It's like, whatever.
I think it's just under 2 hours. That's just me guessing, but I'm not even sure.
Well, we can talk about that later.
Yeah. So
thanks for listening to the Batman episode of the ScreenShare podcast.
No, not the Batman episode. The Batman episode. The movie's called The Batman.
I thought we wanted to end. I'm going to get my boys.
500 loyal boys.
500 certified pieces of hog shit.
Just say goodbye.
All right, bye.